Just want to share with you an app you can get for your phone that actually takes your camera and enhances it and gives you a lot of manual controls. I'll show you that. And we also want to look at some of the basic settings that you should have and be aware of on your camera. When we're discussing settings and apps, just make sure you're aware that some of the things we may talk about may vary depending on the type of device you have, whether you have an Android device or an Apple device. Let's go ahead and take a look at some apps you can get. So when we talk about apps for your phone, there are a wide variety of them. I use one in particular, but there's a couple of them out there. Some are free, some are paid. But if you can see the images that are here, basically what it does is it takes your phone, the camera, and allows you to have manual settings where you can adjust with scopes the lighting and the focus, and you can digitally zoom and add some other effects and adjust your frame rates. Meaning you can choose if you want HD or 4K, and you can choose from shooting in 24 frames versus shooting in 60, which we'll talk about in a moment. So it can really enhance your camera. I would suggest you just try a free one just to kind of see how it impacts your camera. What I like about mine is it gives me some overlays, and I can do what we call boxing or lettering right there as I film, which kind of narrows the footage that you're shooting and puts black lines at the top and bottom. It's kind of a cinematic look that you can just have built right into your look and save you a lot of editing. So let's take a look at your basic settings. So what you want to be aware of is that you never want to shoot anything less than 1080 HD. Don't ever choose 720 if you have the option. Always choose at least 1080 HD. You can choose to go to 4K. Now I have the capability to film in 4K even on the cameras I'm working with now, and I still choose to stay at 1080. 4K is a much larger file size, and editing can make a little bit of more work for your computer and can take a little bit more time. So some things, yes, maybe I would film in 4K, but for the most part I stick with 1080. Now as far as frame rates, that's something that you want to consider. You want to shoot in 24 if you're just filming regular footage for your videos. But if you're going to want to slow down our B-roll, which is footage that we use to go over our A-roll. A-roll would be like the interview footage, and B-roll is like the footage you see as you hear someone talk. But anything you want to put in slow motion, you think of shooting in 60 frames per second. But everything else that is just going to be normal talking and action, not in slow motion, would be 24 frames per second. Those are the basic settings. No matter what camera you have, shoot in 1080 HD. You can choose 4K if you like to, and then choose 24 frames per second, and then switch it to 60 when you're going to do any kind of slow motion work. So that's just a look at apps and settings for your phone.